Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can start? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Inshallah we will finish today and may start another subject. But we will start from the part of the verse which talks about, if you like, God's knowledge and how He relieves some, not all, and what it means for us. I don't think it is very difficult to understand. If you follow from our perspective, study is always understand, especially the verses deals with belief matters. Some people find them very difficult, but if you follow from our perspective, what do they mean for us from our perspective, it becomes very easy. The problem is not that the Quranic language is very complicated, but the problem is with our approach to the Quran, the method we follow in the Quran, in understanding the Quran. So we have to be very careful. Let's read and do some practice, because we have already a lot of introduction to the subject. Would you like to read the verse, piece of the verse we are studying today? We'll go to study.
يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء.
So, somebody English? Can somebody read English? No. No.
He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and they cannot comprehend anything out of His knowledge except what He wills.
Except He wills. Yep. So it is almost apparent that we understand this piece of the verse has two pieces in it, but they are of course interrelated. The first bit says He knows what is before them and what is behind them. This one, the first part. So apparently, or literally reading, it tells us that the Creator says, I am the one who knows what is before them and what is behind them. So what do you think them, the term them, refers to? Them. Who or what is them? What are they? An idea? An idea?
How is the creature? How is the creature?
Yeah. Simple, isn't it? We don't look for people. No, before me, after me. How about right and left side? Is not known to God. It's ridiculous. So before and after. Okay. The creatures. It's an excellent answer. That's straightforward, simple, perfect. So creatures. What do you think the word before and after refer to? Before any creature and after any creature.
Behind, you mean?
Yeah. Before and behind, of course. خلفهم, the literally behind. Behind them, in front of them. Before them, and what is behind them? Sorry. Yeah. Well, then what is in front of them? What is behind them? What do you think?
Before them meaning something that maybe is easy for them to see and understand, and behind.
Sorry, for them, it's easy for them. No, not for them.
For me, or
No.
for.
He knows what is before them and behind them. It means he means create, because we said that this is the Quran describing who God is. So God is describing himself. So he says, we can read it in this way. The Quran says that I'm God speaking to you. I know what is in front of the creatures and behind the creatures. Accordingly, now let's talk about before the creatures, behind the creatures. God says, I know it, and how I should understand it.
So before the creatures is the things that are apparent, and behind the creatures are the things that are not so apparent, the more mysterious parts of how.
It may not be apparent for us.
Right.
It's one of mysteries, I don't know, but it may not be so much apparent for me. So
I think before them is before the creature is created. Like for me, before I was born, God already knows. things
God
before I
says he knows.
Yeah, before things are created.
And this is before. How about behind?
After
Uh.
life is ended, or just the backside of us. Because we don't have
Backside
eyes.
means, is it a physical backside like north and south? How about right and north, east and west?
I think it's physical.
So I don't think it is the physical description of the objects that there is a tree here. God says, hey, I know what is in front of it, what is behind it. We can ask God, do you describe yourself like this? How about the tree itself? I don't think it must be in physical terms. But you started off perfectly. God says, I know before they are created, after they are created. So if we take it in this way, we have another question. It raises another question. What are you talking about before something is created, after something is created? Excuse me, you say that I am the creator. Is there any before and after for you? Then you are not the creator. Why do you think God speaks with this language? Again, bring into our mind that we are reading the Quran as listeners. So the Quran says, I am God and I know what is. Okay, let's say what the tree had before it was created, what the tree will have or has after it is created, from our perspective. So for me, before and after is for me, not for the creator. So, but for the creator, he creates one tree, another tree, another tree. There is no before and after. And it doesn't mean anything to talk about before and after from God's perspective, because he's absolute. By definition, he says, I am absolute. I am infinite. we cannot describe me. That's by definition. So we say, okay, let me understand you what you are saying. So you say that I know before and after the creation of anything, yourself or anything. So it means at the same time, you have to think of before and behind in your terms, because it is applicable to you, to human beings. Now, it is not applicable to the absolute being. It is definitely he's speaking to us at our level within our capacity, right? So far, any problem? No. So how can you confirm this? How can we say that? How do we know? How can I know whether God knows or not? Before my creation and after my creation, do we have any signs for it? Any? Of course, if you think of the matter from God's perspective, I don't know. But it is almost forbidden to understand his speech, which is directed to me at my level, from his perspective. I have to understand it from my perspective and within my capacity. So for me, look at the tree. Do you think that the one who creates this tree right now in front of me knows what is behind the tree? We said behind it was created, before it was created. Do you think he knows any sign that tree, the creator of the tree knows what he's going to create? Any sign?
Yes.
Yeah? Tell me if you have something.
Well, I mean, you can see that the tree, even before it comes into existence, is equipped, like the seed itself is equipped to become a tree.
Yeah, all the qualities of the tree have been preserved in the seed. Then out of this seed, by creating in this way, the creator reveals himself that, look, although you have not seen this tree, but I am the one who created it, and I know it, this is the sign for you. So what we understand from here, and in front of the tree also, there are fruits, and the fruits have their seeds, and the seeds, all the qualities of the next generation's tree have been preserved. He knows what is going to create. So what tells this reality tells us that, in fact, in the creation, we see the order, right? In the creation, we see the order. And the order is the way that we human beings can follow how the creation is taking place. So from there, we understand, we can easily understand that the creator of this order knows what he's going to do, what will happen in the future. He tells me and asks me. This is important. If you want anything from me, by following the order, you can ask me to create it for you. So this is the way to communicate with God. I mean, the God means the creator of this order, this whole universe. So he is revealing himself in a way that I can communicate with him through this way of revelation, if you like. Do you get this? So, for example, we reduce prayer into certain times, in certain forms. You know, this is the prayer time, you go and pray, and after the prayer, you raise your hand. It's quite normal. And ask him, express yourself. All right, please do that. Do for me. I want this. I cannot do myself. I know. I don't know. I don't know what future is going to bring to me. This kind of, I would say, communication is one form of the prayer. But in fact, this is just only a fraction of the prayer. If we realize in our life, a fraction, it means 10 minutes a day, if you do it regularly. Or if you are in trouble, then you say, oh, I cannot do this, you know, please God help me, in certain difficult times for us. This is, first, this is a result of your consciousness. That's one thing. If it is not coming out of your consciousness as a result of your consciousness, I don't know whether you really pray or not. But is it really, or can it be really called prayer? It needs a really stable consciousness. How are we going to establish this stable consciousness? In our daily life, the awareness is not difficult at all. It's extremely easy just because we don't know. When we obey the order, this is the prayer, supplication. But we don't think that this is the supplication. When you obey the order, what are you doing? You are asking the Creator to create something what you need for you. It's very easy. That is why the universe has been created within a stable order. Stable, it doesn't mean static. Stable order. You see that regularities don't change. Just only some things we may not know. Yeah, for example, we didn't know that the weather is going to be so hot last year. Only the signs in the order become apparent. Then we know that it's going to water because the hot wind is coming at that speed towards New York. And then we calculate it, which is the distance, that much mile. How far is the per mile speed of the wind? Let's say 30 miles, 40 miles. So it means 70 hours later, this hot weather will come to New York and go there and say broadcasting and say, you know, today is Wednesday. Friday morning, the weather will be 70 centigrade, Fahrenheit, 70 degree. And we say, oh, we know. You have seen the signs in the order. Otherwise, we don't know. But most of our daily life is based on really stable order, and we follow the stable order. The consciousness is needed. Very simple. For example, let's say, what do you want? I want this book next to me. Huh? Yeah, this is far away. So this, move, obey the order, pull the book, bring it next to me. What I did, I followed the order, right? And this following the order is asking God, supplicating God to fulfill what I want. And it is created because it is stable, the order is stable, book comes next to you. It means you bring it. But it is created by God. The result is created by God by only what I did, follow the order. For example, the room is stuffy, huh? It's not stuffy now, it's beautiful, but it is stuffy. You want to aerate it, refresh the air. And you open the window, this one, open that one, and make it draft. Draft, not drought? Draft. Draft. And it makes draft and air changed, fresh. What I did, they asked me, I aerated the air in the room. It is fresh now. You didn't do anything. You just obeyed the order. This order is prayer. When you have this consciousness, your 24 hours of your life will be in connection with God. And you are always supplicating with God with this consciousness. So simple, but so productive, so beautiful, and makes you conscious of your reality and your relationship with God alive. So simple. First, this must be established. And then this consciousness will be transformed into your formal, prescribed prayers. And afterwards, you can verbally communicate with your Creator now because you are conscious of Him. You know that He's always with you. You know that you are always communicating with Him. So simple. We make it difficult. So simple. Following the order is communicating with God. So let's come back to our subject. So when God speaks, I know what is created before the tree. I know what am I going to create after the creation of the tree. So how can I approve it? By following the order of creation of the tree. I understand that the one who established the order knows everything fully. After, before, right side, left side, everything. It means the Creator has an absolute power and absolute knowledge. I am very comfortable about it. Relax like that. Why? Who's God? The God is the one who created this universe with absolute power, absolute knowledge. How do you know? I'm absolutely sure. Here is my life. So comfortable. I don't know, why don't we take it? Why do you make religion so difficult? It's my life. So simple if you change your perspective. If you alienate religion from yourself, make something knowledge. You have to know Sirah books, you have to know Hadith books, you have to know Quran, and you have to know Arabic, of course. The master in Arabic in 10 years is not enough. It's not enough to master Arabic 10 years. It's not enough. Really, believe me. Mastering in Arabic in 10 years is not enough in order to understand really, really what the Quran is saying, the language of the Quran. So of course, if you are going to be a scholar of the Quran, not believer in the Quran. The believer in the Quran is very easy, but if you want to make a profession out of it, it is very difficult. Don't look at me and other people that just speak about religion and tell you the same stories from 40 hadith books every time. So to their scholars, I speak on my name. No. I am not a scholar, but I'm pretty convinced about my belief. But my real life is my belief. And I'm sure you are too. But you don't know how to relate your reality to belief matters. Alienation. Making religion something apart from, or making religion, first of all, into a knowledge is one problem. And this knowledge, making this knowledge into a profession is another dramatic problem. Not the simple believers, no, convinced believers. To become a convinced believer is not a problem at all. Very simple. Just don't make the religion a stranger for you. If you don't know Arabic, if you are not grown within a Muslim family, it means you don't know much religion. You can't be really more religious because you don't know Arabic. You don't know informations that the culture narrates to you. Don't worry. Most of them have nothing to do with religion. They are professional knowledge. You know, to become an engineer, you have to study 20 years. So to become a professional, religious, knowledgeable man, you have to study 40 years. To become a believer, you have to be careful 1 month. Careful education. But strong believer. Quran says be believers. Through reasoning, through using your intellectual ability, through using your human qualities, you can become a believer even in 1 week. Just, methodological change takes some time. So simple to me. So one side, from looking at the order of the universe, we definitely confirm the news that says, by God says, I know everything from the beginning to the end. I say, yeah, you do. That's correct. I confirm it. I have no problem. Have you seen any sign in the order of the universe that the one who brings this universe into existence may not know something? Any sign? He doesn't know what he's doing, what he's going to do. Any sign? Just don't be religious. No. Just a human being. The one who brings the universe into existence, whatever it is. Don't say God, Allah. No, nothing. Just the one. Whatever it is. Brings the universe into existence. Then may not know this or this because it seems to be unknown to the maker. Any sign? I've never seen it. I couldn't see it. So it's obvious. Is there any way not to confirm this message? No way. So this first part of this phrase is solved from my perspective. I don't know about you. I'm comfortable about it. Yeah, that's correct. How about the second part? They cannot comprehend anything out of his knowledge except what he wills. So comprehending the knowledge, that's yuhituna is comprehending the knowledge, encompassing the knowledge. Yeah, okay. Anything out of his knowledge, Now, it means we established that the Creator knows everything. It means Creator knows everything means everything is coming into existence within a perfect knowledge. That makes sense, does it? Does it make sense? Everything comes into existence within perfect knowledge. Now, what he says, but they cannot comprehend anything out of his knowledge. So who is expected to comprehend? At least me, because I am conscious. I am trying to understand what the knowledge, how the knowledge or knowledge has been manifested itself. How? So I can understand it. As far as I am concerned, yeah, I may be one of them. Okay. Do you think that I can comprehend anything out of his knowledge except what he wills? So what is happening here? Everything is revealed, although I know in a general sense that the one who put this universe into order knows everything. By definition, must know everything. Okay? So how much of this knowledge I can know? I am knowing. Only as much as he wills. It means he permits. Yes? He says, okay, you can know this, you can know this, you can know this. So, in our own reality, our knowledge consists of what? Discoveries. What can we discover? Only as much as we can analyze the creation and get some parts of the order, learn the order as much as we can. And don't we think that it is really coming to us, or we can really approach the part of the knowledge gradually? Don't you think that? So, for example, we know a lot of things which were not known to people 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, and last year. Gradually, we are discovering. But what are we discovering? Only what is possible within our scope of investigation. So can we know the whole knowledge of the Creator? Let's start from there. What will happen 1 billion years later? Do you know? Can we know? For the moment, no. I don't know. That partial revelation, so that the order was established in a way that partially we can discover. Only partially we can discover. Then this is deliberately made it. The Creator has organized the order in a way that I can partially discover something of his knowledge. What do we mean by his knowledge? Whatever you find in the libraries that people study, physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology, geography, geology, botany, whatever. What are they doing? They are coming with some knowledge, the information. This information about what? This information about what is in the order. what is in the order. Wake up, everybody. What is in the order? Isn't that? Do we find anything out of order? No. Out of order means not in that out of order sense. Nothing of the order. Do we find anything? What we find is within the order. Are you following me? Is it clear that please people just like that stares at me? I want something respond from you.
Yes, we understand.
You do really? Oh, good. Except somebody is not sleeping. Thank you very much. So we discover nothing apart from what the order already includes in it. And we can discover partial. Huh? So we understand that the order, now I think we have to pay attention here now. We understand the order has been established in such a way that we can discover step by step. This is a deliberate organization, if you like, deliberately done in this way. For example, a couple of 100 years ago, people didn't know what electricity was. They were just some sparkles or something they understood. Did they know that atom is a huge energy? Now, did they know that the solar energy? Did they know that the wind energy? Could they really formulate it? You know, the famous story. What the people do, they find the rules of, for example, order in the creation of water and the sea, etc. They know that water has the quality to lift the things up, yeah, according to the how the objects, how heavy they are, etc. Their molecular structure. Those people technically they know what I'm talking about, and you can understand that there is a certain discipline or principle there, and we discover it and we say, I learned now. This is within the order again, that human capacity can go this much. So we cannot really get into something which the Creator did not enable us. That's why how I understand from it, I can comprehend only as much as the owner of the order allows me to get it. That is why no one can say that I can comprehend everything. But this is, if you like, it goes step by step, stage by stage. We discover, you know, for example, electric was discovered. I don't know when. So there's electromagnetic waves are discovered. So the transformation of the voice and the magnetic things, I don't know technical words, you know them. So we could regulate them according to, not according to what we want, according to how much the order allows me to get it. That is the will of the one who put the order in the universe. That's what the verse says. It is my will. I put the order in this way. I enable you with this capacity, so you can get into it as much as I allow you. Right? That's what the verse says. And my communication is to ask God to reveal me more. How can I ask God to reveal me more knowledge? By going to prayer. But how can I ask God to reveal me more knowledge? رب زدني علما. That's correct. No, if I sit here, yeah, I'll give you the. If I sit here for 40 years and Rabbi zidni ilma, what does it mean? This is the verse which means, please God, increase my knowledge, or increase me in knowledge. It means increase my knowledge. Please God, increase my knowledge. Please increase my knowledge. Does it increase anything? What? Well, God didn't hear me? Come on, 40 years I prayed. But in 1 minute, he must accept some. Huh? Which kind of God he is? He doesn't pay attention to me. My question, my prayers have not been accepted or answered or heard. Which kind of relationship? What am I expected to do to increase my knowledge? Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. You
seek knowledge within the order that he's given us.
Yeah, it means, how do you say, make it clear. That's right, but let's make the language clear and methodology clear. Take knowledge
that you have of the order.
You have?
That you were given of the order, the current order.
But do you think that the knowledge you have been given of the order, how do you think that the knowledge you are given of the order? You are given of the order. But come on, you are right, but the correct, not the language English-wise, but methodologically, the more I try to discover the order, what I learn is nothing but
what's within the order.
What is in the order? What is in the order is what the creator, maker of the order meant it to be. That is the illa bima sha. Yeah, except that he wills. Yeah. If the order is not prepared in a way that I cannot extract anything from it, it is not meant to be, or I am not meant to get the knowledge. Right? So do you understand that verse really speaks to me? Hey, if you want to get some knowledge of me or about me, you have to go and study, investigate with your power, capacity, my order. Don't say, and do nothing. Yeah, that is why people misunderstand religion. They say religion makes people, or the technical word, not technical, the word they use, pacifies people. Religion pacifies people, whereas modern sciences or secular understanding of the world makes people active. Religion says, according to them, go to the mosque or the church and open your hands, raise your hands, and open and raise your hands and say, please God, increase my knowledge. Of course, they know nothing, they learn nothing. They're stupid, idiot people. But the secular science says, go to the lab, do research. They don't say that investigate into the order that is created by all-knowing one. They don't say that. They say, go into the knowledge, Yeah, make research about nature. Now, practically looking at the practical matter, who is right? Apparently, secularists right. But their interpretation is cut. It is with the Quranic language, abtar. What do I mean by cut, abtar, or not productive? Because they get the knowledge from nature, and they don't know what nature is. They don't know what nature is. The matter itself. So do you think the matter is really producing knowledge itself? It means nothing. But what they do, the way they do, their description is different. Their description of what they are doing is different. But what they do is right. What the believer does in the mosque and say, the please God increase my knowledge and never go to the lab. Wrong. Total wrong. What are we supposed to do according to the teachings of the scripture or the speech of God? You have to investigate the order and know that whatever you discover is from your creator. The more you study, the more you get of God's knowledge. It introduces himself to you. God introduces himself to you. And this is from your Lord. Rabbi zidni ilma. Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Know that that's my permission. I let you learn this. You have to say that I am investigating the order in the lab and I am getting knowledge, gaining knowledge from the blessing of my Lord. That is his will. Do you understand? That is his will. It is the right stand. So you can go to the mosque and say, please God, increase me in knowledge. You mean, please give me more opportunity to discover from your order. Yeah. Otherwise, just doing that and saying the word never ever brings you not one sentence, even one letter. You cannot learn anything. God says your method is wrong. That is not belief. That is just imitation. That is just culture. Your method is wrong. You have to learn. You have to study. You have to have a right approach. That's what we have to learn here. Do you get it? Okay.
It's also another way of understanding this, that you will never reach real comprehension of anything unless also you put it in context of this is the will of the creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's
apart from the will of the creator. It means apart from the will of the creator. It
right.
means apart from the will of the creator, which is manifested to me, revealed to me through his way of creation, right. Which is order in the universe.
So what I mean is that even if you were able to go to the lab and scientifically
yeah.
prove something or
scientific word, we don't know it. Don't use the scientific word now because everything is scientific in your life.
No,
so
I mean,
it means the modern language.
If I were to
work in the lab in order to discover what is
right.
in the order.
Right, and if I were to discover something that's in the order, but I divorce whatever discovery I made from that this is a manifestation of God's will,
yeah.
Then I still cannot comprehend it completely.
Because his knowledge is absolute.
No, I mean, I can't comprehend it completely because even if I understand that 1 + 1 = 2, I don't understand the nature of 1 or 2.
So no one is expected to understand completely, but We can, the problem is there. The problem is not how much of the order and knowledge of God. It means you have discovered. No, no, no. Whatever you have discovered, whatever you learned is nothing but God's knowledge. You have to say, oh, the Creator knew this as well. The Creator knew this as well. You are discovering God's knowledge. And this is the will of the Creator. You cannot do it by yourself. That is God's knowledge revealing itself to you. The problem is here. Be careful here. You will understand. The problem is not how much you learned or how much didn't learn. You discovered electricity or not is not the problem. Whatever you discovered in the order, are you aware that this is the will of God? This is the will of your Lord. Your prayer is being partially accepted. When you discover something, you learn something, it is what God wills you. That is how you increase your knowledge. This is asking God to increase your knowledge. That is the consciousness we have to develop. Otherwise, you discovered electricity when we 100 or 200 century, 100 years later, 200 years later, they will discover another kind of source of energy. Is it the purpose of our existence here? Okay, I discovered energy, electricity. Who discovered electricity? Electricity, not the Edison, the lamp. Sorry?
No.
Who discovered the electricity? Electricity.
That's a tough question.
Sorry?
Many people.
Sorry?
Many people.
Many people involved in, they made this huge, something, I don't know what the name of the guy. He was the really genius guy. It's an exceptionally genius. I don't know his name, but it's a short name. Sorry?
Nicholas Tesla?
I don't know, not that one. So, I mean, they were working together here and there, etc. They discovered electricity. Where are they? Are they using electricity? They are they call it inventor, I mean, not discoverer. Yeah? Discoverer of electricity. Where are they? So, is it the purpose of their existence? No, but we have to discover, because we wonder what the Creator's knowledge includes. So that the more I know his knowledge, the more I become aware of him. Which kind of Lord I have. He knows this, he knows this, he knows this. He created even the smallest atom with huge, if you like, source of knowledge. It is his knowledge, manifested knowledge. So that is my Lord. Do you think the Quran says, for example, your Lord knows what is going on in the bottom of your heart? It means you say, if only to that, a little bit. He's well aware of it. You say, yeah, of course, he is. He knows, his knowledge is manifested within a particle, that much. I am writing, people are writing volumes of book and they don't finish it. Can you imagine? He wouldn't know your heart. The particle, atom, no one has ever seen atom so far in its physical term, physical mass. So small, particle is 1,000 times smaller than atom. And people are studying and discovering the qualities of the particle. Discovering the knowledge of the creator of the particle. It is always created with an order. That's what we know, that the creator knows it. So this verse, all verses are amazing when you make it simple. from your perspective. Make it real. Don't alienate it. Amazing source of information. This verse started from that you have to know that I know everything and it is possible for you. Even that before they are created, even after they are created, I know what I am doing. My knowledge comprehends everything. And I say, yes, that's correct. And says, you can know of it as much as I allow you, but there is one way to do that. Study my work. The more you study the work, the more become acquainted with the qualities of the artist. Isn't that right? If you don't study, for example, if they take you in front of a perfect, awesome building, if you look at it like this, oh, it is really awesome, and go, how much of the qualities of the architect you learn? That much, that's it. But if you go and study every unit, every part of this building, architect, and this is like that. There is an art here. There is a purpose here. This is doing this function. The other function. This is more really very practical. The more you study the building, architecture, building, the more you become closer to the knowledge, the quality of the architect. So you become very familiar with the architect's quality. That is becoming closer to God. Muqarrabun, those people who are closer to God, yeah, God has allowed them to get closer to Him. Who are they? Who are they? Those people who know God better. How much they can ask Him to reveal His knowledge to him. By paying attention to His work. Wonderful work, the universe. The more you study the universe, you become more acquainted with the Creator. You become, that is muqarrabun in the language of the Quran. Those who are drawn closer to Him. Otherwise, God is absolute. How can you get closer to Him? If you go to the highest level of the building, do you think you can get closer to God? Don't be ridiculous. How can you get closer to God? By knowing Him better. Yeah. For example, if you mention about a person which I have been speaking with for 50 years, right? If you say, this brother Ahmed, which Ahmed, the one who lives, it is my friend. I know him very well. He's my very close friend. Very close friend. I know him very well. He knows me. Yeah. Very close friend. We are muqarrabun to each other. Do you understand? So, understand the Quran is beautiful. Whole night, every night. You don't have to fast every day. You can become a very, very close friend of God. Wali. The Quran says, Wali, my friend, close, intimate friends. Intimate friend. How can you become an intimate friend? By going to Hajj every year? No. You can travel every year. Yes, you can do a touristic journey every year. But you cannot be, it is not the way to become closer to God. God doesn't live in Mecca or somewhere there. So what are you doing? Well, of course you can go, it is a ritual, it's different. But it doesn't mean that by going to Hajj every year, you will become closer to God. It's ridiculous. You have to have another approach, get acquainted with God, so that you can become an infinite friend of God, and also do your physical work here. It means prayer, fasting, and going on Hajj as well. But not that you go on Hajj, then you become closer to God. You become more acquainted with God, that you become a close friend, intimate friend. But that is the only way to become acquainted with God, to become acquainted with His work, so that you can become closer. Now, it doesn't mean that, for example, if I sit next to Ihab, then I am a very close friend of Ihab. I sat next to him. What do you say? What do you say? Well, everybody
I told you the guy that was sitting beside me in the subway is a closer friend.
Yeah. Everybody sits beside you in subway. It's not your close friend. Do you understand? That's very simple. Very simple. So we have to know that in our daily life, in our daily experiences, everything we do is nothing but communicating with the Creator. How do we know that? If you are conscious of it. If you are not conscious of it, you eat every day, you breathe every second, right? You benefit from everything every moment, and you never become acquainted with the Creator if you ignore it, that you are communicating with the Creator of all things. But if you are conscious of it, you are with the God 24 hours a day. When you get married, you don't have to call your mother every day. You are with God. That is enough. Yep. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. God suffices me. I'm with Him, and He is the owner of the universe. He is the owner of my mother. He is the owner of my friends. He is the owner of my town. Whatever you want to be together, He is the owner of it. You are with Him, the problem has been solved. And also your family problem has been solved. Practically. So, yeah. The verse is mysterious. It's not mysterious. If you don't pay attention methodologically from the right perspective, it is a self-claim of God. I don't know. But if you have a right perspective, it is your real practical life. So easy. Then you are living every day. You are experiencing it every moment in your life. So simple. I'm very relaxed now. The problem verse. Now, this is not a problem at all. I'm sure some of you have been studying something, our ancient Muslim scholars. There are many works, a lot of argument about what is this throne of God. Arguments, quarrels, fights, everywhere. Really. Oh, scholars, it's classical scholarship. But later on, they didn't have much fight. Why? Not because they solved the problem. Because they say, okay, those ancient great scholars couldn't solve it. We should better leave it. And they say, okay. They said, don't think about it. Just say what the Quran says. Just repeat. That was the fashion now. Okay? Almost not 100% consensus, but majority of the scholars say, okay, what God says, we cannot interpret it as we want, and you have to just accept it, because they said you cannot really deny it because the Quran says so. Come on, how can you deny the Quran? We are Muslims, aren't we? That was the attitude. How about, well, okay, let's change the perspective and see. Well, I mean, it's so short, so I can read it. His throne extends over the heavens and the earth. So heavens and the earth is what?
Everything.
Everything. Exactly. Everything. It means what we know, the universe, and what if you don't know something beyond the universe, that is also. Heavens and the earth is the expression, includes everything. Okay. Now, his throne extends over. What do you understand from it? But the perspective is, God is introducing himself. I'm just repeating what we have just at the beginning or previous weeks also. And in an extended way, we discussed why we should follow this methodology. It's very simple. So it's not difficult to understand. No. Just, okay, universe is here. And he says, God says in the Quran, in his speech actually, don't say it Quran, his speech, and he says, look, I'm going to introduce myself to you. Okay, the way I will understand now depends on your capacity, if you like, or condescension to my level. How much you can get down to my level, then that much I understand. And you should know me, you are my maker. That's what you say. These are all by definition. Okay, so he says, well, I'm going to introduce myself to you at your level. My throne extends over everything. What do you understand from it? So simple, eh? From your perspective, but be careful. Somebody else, did you want anything else? Okay.
That his will and his order covers everything.
So his will and
his order
covers everything. So look, throne means throne where the king sits. Throne. If we say in our language that what God is speaking to me at my level. So if we say somebody Charles the Eighth, how does that ascended to the throne? What does it mean?
Became the ruler.
He became the ruler. Right? It's simple. Everybody knows it. Even the 5-10 years old children's story have this concept. So you don't have to be a scholar for it. So ascending this throne represents taking over the ruling and the power. Now, whatever he says, it happens. That's the kingdom, right? So we understand that whatever is happening, as you said, actually, I'm not saying anything different from what you said. You put it in a concise way. Whatever happens in this universe that I can approach through order, following the order as much as I can, or trying to discover what the order is, how the order is nothing but his dominion, if you like. This is from him. You can say, some people said it represents God's power. Oh, okay, God has the power. Some people say it represents God's knowledge. Well, of course. What the order demonstrates to me that the one who gave existence to this order has the power to give existence to it. One has the knowledge, because the order lacks no knowledge at all. There is no sign of lack of knowledge in the order. So how about his wisdom? It is there. Is there anything created with no wisdom at all? In the whole, as much as you know, of course, as much as I know, I am responsible as much as I know. That's my capacity, and that is how I am made. I am responsible for what I have been given. No more, no less. I have to use it. So how about God's will? Everything in the universe demonstrates that the one who gave existence to this order of the universe has willed them to be as they are. Otherwise, they cannot give a shape or position or a status in the creation by themselves. That is his not only power, because it is classically used, some scholars insisted that it represents the power of God. Every attribute of the Creator extends over everything, which means whatever we find out in the creation of the order, all the qualities we discover. You say it is sweet, it is soury, it is a horrible taste looking, for example. They are all, it is bright, it is dark, it is big, it's small, it is this shape, triangular, rectangular, whatever. All the qualities we find, all the sciences discover the quality in the act of creation is where the Creator manifested his ownership. The property of the universe belongs to him with all its qualities. His throne encompasses everything. Is there anything which is acting in the order of the universe independently of its creator, because it doesn't have a creator? For example, let's say, I'm making it simple. I say I am created by God, but yesterday morning, I made my existence not as my creator wanted it to be, I wanted it to be. 1 minute, can you say? 1 second, can you say? Can anybody in the universe, whatever the titles they have, I've seen one atom acting independently of its maker. Well, it really acted as it wanted. No one can say that. It is everything in the universe is under the throne of the Creator of this universe. Nothing can act independently. We may think that we are acting independently. We are willing, giving the free will, choosing between what is given in the order of the universe. We are just given the opportunity to choose what has already been put in the order of the universe. Can you will anything which is not within the order of the universe? Can you will anything? Can you choose anything and it happens? Not within the order of the universe. Yeah. Without, like this, exhaling and inhaling, exhale. Exhaling air. Can you speak? Make noise. Exhaling air. Because it is the order. You have to obey the order. Yeah. So even you may have technology, it means really discovering the other side of the order, for example, using X-rays to see something that you cannot really see with your naked eyes. Yeah, it is in the order. Yeah, that is in the order. They discovered it and used it. Yeah, you can use it, right? You use your cell phone Do you think you use your cell phone independently of the order, or cell phone companies are really trying their best to find out even more what is within the order? It's very comfortable. Yeah. So you can understand that his throne extends over the heavens and the earth, means, from my perspective, everything in the universe at every moment is under the throne of its creator. Nothing can act independently. Nothing against his will. Nothing, with no exception. Right? So, as an extension of this throne, which is Kursi, Quran also used another expression, Arsh. Again, it is translated in the same way, his Kursi, his throne, Arsh, where his chair, or people use different languages, Arsh. Quran says, for example, my Arsh is on water. Yep. Arsh, كان عرشه على الماء. Yeah, it's on water. What does it mean? Oh, my reader, speaking to the reader of the Quran, whatever you look at you look at the water, you can see easily my authority explicitly demonstrating itself, particularly on water. Particularly on water. That's why they say the water is the source of life. Every mystery comes from here. The life started from there, because the dense manifestation, from our perspective, dense manifestation of the qualities, all qualities of the Creator, you can find in water. Isn't that easy? So there is no need to quarrel, what is Kursi? Can we really interpret it? It will be our interpretation. We don't know the meaning of the Kursi. And then look at the matter from God's perspective. And of course, you cannot solve any problem from God's perspective. God's perspective is absolute, and you cannot comprehend absolute. So you have to speculate it. And the speculations have no limit. You can speculate this way, you can speculate another way, and you can keep fighting and fighting and fighting. So there is no way to fight. There is no need to fight. It is so easy. Just change the perspective. And understand that I have to understand the Quran from my perspective. So simple. Yeah. So let's finish this, inshallah. وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا, and the preservation of them both tires him not. It doesn't tire him. Of course, we said from the very beginning, if you remember, this one, neither slumber nor sleep overtake him. Yep. So neither slumber nor sleep overtake him. So the sleep and slumber shouldn't overtake us either for the moment. Now, after you go home, yes, you can just lie down and sleep. So is actually another perspective of the same message. It establishes that, look, never expect the creator of this universe, will lack anything or lacks anything. So everything is perfectly under him. Everything directly and perfectly with their own entire whole being dependent on him. So sure. So no slumber, no sign of slumber, no sign of sleep overtakes him that we can see here, and also the preservation of the heavens and earth never tires him, because we don't see that in the creation. There is no, sometimes the act of creation is becoming slower because the order is so stable. We know that there is no change in the speed of the order or anything coming into existence of the order. There is no change. It's so obvious. Even there is no need to talk. But just look at the matter from your perspective, you solve the problem. I have no reason even to talk more. So obvious. And we say, of course, the owner of this universe finds nothing to tire him, or really sometimes become difficult to him. No, nothing. In any sense, the order is perfectly changing continuously, but never forget this. The order is subject to continuous change, but being in order never changes. Do you understand this? In order, being in order never changes, but order itself continuously renews itself and changes. The biggest change we can observe through seasons, or less likely through day and night, or less likely through morning and evening or afternoon. Yeah, in our life, when I was a baby, young man, old man, but do you think there is an order, changing order in my existence? Everybody knows that, yeah, you have been living here for such and such years. You look quite healthy for your age. They are expecting at a certain age to have certain signs of wear out in your existence, of course, not the creator. That is the order. Everybody knows. That's the order of the creation. So we know that order is changing continuously, but order never changes. Never becomes disorder, partially or totally. No. So we understand that nothing tires him. It means there's no slowness or a little bit not perfect, Last year creation was wonderful, but this year act of creation doesn't show that much wonder. No sign. So there is no need even to talk more. Let's finish. The time is up already. Well, Ali, come on, man. As if the speaker, God says, come on, you can easily confirm that he is. It means I am surely exalted, and supreme in my glory. It means you cannot liken me anything. You cannot comprehend me in no way. You can only say, what? God is great. That's it, period. I cannot describe you. I cannot really comprehend you, because You are the creator or owner of everything. So that's it. I cannot say anything more. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Aliyyul Azim, beyond all descriptions. Isn't that comfortable? You cannot really comprehend his greatness, his majesty, his glory. I can't. But I know he is beyond my description, glorified, exalted. Must be. But am I thinking of God? No, no, no. I am just saying that the owner of this universe is beyond description, perfect. Beyond my description, perfect. Nothing defect, nothing fault at all. I cannot say, yes, he is good, you know, he is merciful. I understand that, but last night he wasn't merciful. There's no sign that I may suffer from sadness or pain or something. I may die now, but it is not a sign of imperfection. That is the order he is implementing. The order. It is not a sign of imperfection. It is not a sign that I am out of his control. My death is equally his will as my birth was. From my perspective, again, from my perspective. So I cannot ascribe any deficiency. How small is it, doesn't matter to him. He is Aliyyul Azim. It means really exalted, really supreme in glory he is. I can say that comfortably from my perspective. I don't know. You can hopefully say as well. That brings us to the end of this description of God in the Quran in one verse. There are other descriptions, but they are all under the umbrella of this description. That's why this verse is said by the Quran, the scholars of the Quran, encompasses all descriptions of God in the Quran. Yeah, I think methodologically, it's easy to understand. I find no difficulties. Yeah. Thank you very much for, yeah.
What's the argument people used to have about the throne?
Throne? What are you going to do there?
Throne.
Oops. They said it is mutashabihat. It means really not straightforward language. This is mutashabihat in English. I just slipped from my mind. Sorry? Yeah, it was abstract, but there is a word, with a very famous word everywhere. It's used, metaphorical. So you cannot describe it. You cannot really definitely define it. It's metaphorical, not metaphorical. In other words, mutashabiyat. Come on.
Like how they say the hand of God is metaphorical.
Yeah, like that, you know. That's a typical example in the hand of God. You know, it is Kursi of God is the same thing. And anything objective, we cannot ascribe anything to object. Of course, you cannot, because if you read the Quran literally, you have to take this word an object, the names of objects. It is ridiculous to do that. That's why there is no need to talk. Yeah, it's comfortable that you are not missing anything. You know, I spent my lots of time on it, but I understood that. But only after learning their argument, I really understand and appreciate this approach. Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Metaphorical, no, it's not the word. No, if you know it, say, because there are all words, but if somebody has read about it and they know the word, it's very famous. Sorry? Allegorical, yeah. Why didn't you tell me before? So it's that allegorical, yeah, so allegory. So you can interpret allegory this way, but we said, no, from our perspective, we understand what it means. But if we keep talking about God and analyzing the allegory in terms of God, you are always in dead end. You cannot get it. Because you cannot talk about God by definition. Why do you keep talking about God? Talk about the matter from your perspective. You say, I see nothing in the world which is not under the control of its creator. I cannot see anything in the world, even for one moment, acting independently of it, of the order. It means everything is under his, the creator's control. So whatever it is, Kursi means whatever it, but we know that everything is under his control. So simple. It must be so because there is nothing out of his control. The control of the creator of the order. There is no need to put a name and say that Kursi means this. It means, throne means this. I don't know. So again, once more, when we say that you cannot understand the Quran with dictionaries, right? Which is not the way of understanding the speech of God with dictionaries. Dictionary says something, Quran uses the word completely within a different context. The context is the Quranic context. Context is the Quranic context, not dictionary context. So you say kursi, what is kursi in? Open the dictionary, it says throne, chair. All right? Throne, chair. You cannot understand the Quran. You have to understand what kursi may mean within the context of the purpose of the teaching of the Quran. Be careful. Purpose of the teaching of the Quran. What is the purpose of the teaching of the Quran? To guide me within this creation, through this act of creation, to teach me who the owner of this creation is. That's what my purpose of being in this world is all about. Put this word within this context, and it means that I can understand that this universe is totally dependent on its creator. Nothing acts independently of its creator. Simple. Finish. But none of the dictionaries can help you to understand this. How old the dictionary is. But the word is used during the prophetic time. The Quran was revealed to human capacity at that time, but Quran is an eternal speech. So eternal speech cannot be understood within certain historical period. Impossible. Because it cannot be eternal speech if it was subject to certain historical period. So simple. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Thank you. Inshallah, I'll see you on Saturday. If not, if you cannot come, next Wednesday. Saturday at 7 o'clock. We have this. Sorry, Saturday is 10 o'clock, sorry. Today is at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Jazakumullah. Have a great night. Sure, God is with you. Make sure, inshallah.